Good morning, Dr. McRae, Ms. Ambrosini, Mercy Board of Directors, Ms. Ortiz, faculty, staff, parents, friends, relatives, and the class of 2013. The day of our graduation is finally here. From the day we were born, we each have been the heroines of our own special stories. Stories detailing wonderful adventures of our own unique journeys of growth. And from the moment we decided to attend Mercy High School, our stories were destined to converge in extraordinary ways. And today marks that bittersweet moment in which each of our stories is able to intersect one last time before we move on. I am sure we are all feeling a wide range of conflicting emotions right now. Joy at surviving high school, pride in all of our accomplishments, sadness at saying goodbye to our friends, excitement about our upcoming new chapters, and to be honest, fear at the changes we face. Of all the emotions alive in our stories, however, I know that the one strongest in mine right now is gratitude. I am so incredibly thankful for receiving the gift of such an engaging education and for having the privilege of getting to learn and to grow alongside the individuals of this wonderful class. I have learned a great deal here at Mercy, both in and out of the classroom. We truly have received an education that extends far beyond the California-approved curriculum, and that is due to every single person that makes up the Mercy community. More than facts, equations, and definitions, we've learned from each other and have taught one another about life. You all have taught me many important lessons. You've all taught me about generosity, about how to comfort others, about how to find humor after hardship. And I hope in the future, I can teach others the important lessons that I've learned here. If there's one thing I hope for all of the people in this class, it's that no matter our future professional titles, our number one lifelong job will always be that of both student and teacher. My years with this class have taught me that every single one of us has so much to teach others, and thus it truly must be our destiny to keep on learning and to pass that knowledge on. We have been a part of such an interesting intellectual trade cycle here at Mercy, in which knowledge and revelation have both been freely exported out of and imported into each individual. And I hope this trade cycle continues in whatever new communities we find ourselves in next. We must never, ever be stingy in sharing knowledge, or kindness for that matter. No embargoes, no boycotts, just balance of trade. You learn something new, you teach someone new. Going to a school whose identity is so intertwined with that of the Sisters of Mercy, we've learned a lot about the work that this pioneering order of nuns has done. But what amazes me the most is how the work of Catherine McCauley and all of the other nuns that followed transcends time. It's been almost 200 years since Catherine McCauley opened up that fateful house on Bagot Street and began her work serving the woman around her. And here, through us, her work lives on. It will continue to live on through schools like Mercy High School, and it will continue to live on through its graduates, as we take the legacy that Catherine began and we expand it to include our own work and our own service. Though we may take off the plaid skirt, the influence of this school, its founder, and all that it has taught us will stay within us. Having grown up in the community of this wonderful school, there is no doubt that our identity will forever be exemplified by that giant and that versatile word, mercy. In fact, I don't know if any other word will ever belong more to us than the word mercy does. We've lived that word these past 4 years, and it's time for us to spread it outward. It's easy to view mercy as strictly the product of Catherine Macaulay's enduring legacy. But I've come to realize that we all must take joint ownership of both the identity and legacy of mercy. Attending this high school, we have experienced Macaulay's enduring work, and it's up to us to keep that work alive. No matter what college you're going to or what job you will have in the future, we must never forget the strength that lies in knowing how to be merciful. The world, though beautiful, can be and will be heartbreaking at times. We've learned in these past 4 years of the terrible suffering faced by many in this world. We've learned of victims of rape and human trafficking, of the harsh realities of poverty and of sickness. We've learned about the slow death of our planet due to the lack of stewardship of the earth. And so, wherever our journeys take us, and whatever suffering that we witness, we must stand vigilant and stand in solidarity with those who drown in pain, using mercy to help keep us and others afloat. Each time we witness suffering, in all and any of its forms, we must respond with the compassion that we learned here. We must allow ourselves to feel, to empathize, and to use this merciful compassion to spur us into action. We are at a very special place in history. Our role in this world will be so much more than the college degrees we decide to pursue. Our role is to be living proof of compassion in an increasingly indifferent society. Our role is to be educators when others try to hold on to ignorance. Our role is to be merciful, and our role is to change and to adapt as we continue to grow in our understanding of what being merciful means. I used to think that the best compliment one could ever receive was that classic yearbook staple, "Don't ever change." But now, I realize that change is the only open road for improvement, for becoming better people. So, you will not find me writing that phrase in anyone's yearbook. Instead, I hope we all will change, and often. I've been thinking a lot lately about human nature and societal tendencies, and what I've come to notice is how we are a society of collectors. We collect shoes, we collect coins, rocks, stamps, whatever we can get our hands on. We collect paintings, we collect artifacts, we collect history, and build museums to house all that we've accumulated. There must be something in the way humans are wired that causes this desire to accumulate. But instead of accumulating material goods, I think each soul's true desire is to collect stories. Coming to Mercy awakened in me a hunger for stories and helped me to realize my craving for connection. There is no better cure for the isolation of disconnection than with stories. And as I'm sure you all know, this class has some really, really great stories. In fact, one of my favorite things to do at Mercy was sit in the library after school at any table, not doing my homework, and just talking to whoever happened to be in the library that I proceed to hang up and exhibit in my heart. Though many stories may not seem life-changing, I really feel like I'd be a less complete person without knowing about the time a classmate was able to bond with the clients at the nursing home she volunteered at. About the time a friend embarrassed herself in front of this cute guy in a suit on the bus. About what it felt like for a peer to have grown up without one of her parents. Or even about the time that a friend of mine got a really vicious pet parrot. It's so important, wherever you go, to know the people around you, to ask for stories and to give stories in return. Stories can offer so much more than a quick laugh. In the future, when feelings of loneliness or sadness or isolation find us, we can rely on the stories we've collected to act as a source of comfort through difficult times. So wherever you find yourself after graduation, be sure to keep an ear out for stories. My dream is that when we all return in 50 years from our Mercy Day reunion, we will all step out of our hovercrafts. We will once again meet each other and say, look at the museum of stories that I, with the help of every single person I have let into my life, have built within myself. And once again, our stories shall intermingle. I do not know where we will all end up, where the future will take us, or when the hovercrafts will be standard transportation. But I know that in many ways, we will always be connected by our shared story. Once a Mercy girl, always a Mercy girl. Our generation, and countless other generations, both past and future, are a part of the wonderful circle of mercy. And that, in all of its glory, is a blessing and a gift that we carry with us. We carry it with us, never forgetting the sisterhood and the community that we found within ourselves as we found each other in this wonderful school called Mercy. Thank you.